Welcome to the Bondi Scrapper channel yet again, although this could well be the first video that I actually publish. The editing process drives me insane. But with that said, this video is going to be about is it worth it? I've got some cable down here and it's really hard to strip, so I'm trying to work out, is it worth the trouble? Is the juice worth the squeeze of stripping it down? So let's have a look, see what we've got. So during the week I picked up this pile of cable. Most of it was sitting in the dirt. It is filthy. It is just covered in muck, which again makes it a lot less palatable to tidy up. And we can see here this purple stuff. It looks pretty good. It's a single core, and I don't know, it's about a millimetre across. There's some 3-core, this orange stuff, 3-core, and again, there's not much in there. There's some 4-core, I think, no, that's 3-core as well. 4-core, right there, look at that, a bit chunkier. None of these have got any markings on them, so I've got no idea what the official rating on them is. Except for this white stuff, which is got a single core in it, and it's 10 square millimeters and quite chunky looking. So let's go and weigh it up. So here's our wires cut to about a 1.5 metre length. I was talking really quietly outside there because I live really close to my neighbours, and they already think I'm a little bit crazy, so I don't want to give them more reason to think that. So let's weigh the wires up. I've got my trusty scales that I picked up off the side of the road during a hard rubbish clean out. All they needed was a new battery to get them going. So here's the purple stuff, 119 grams. So I'm just writing that down. And the orange 3-core, very convenient, 250 grams, quarter of a kilo. The orange 4-core, 343 grams. And 374 grams for the white 10 square millimetre. So I'm just going to do the calculations on that to see what they're worth as they stand. So here are the final figures for what it's worth as it stands, and my scrapyard pays me this as low-grade copper insulated wire, which is $2.30 a kilogram, and that's 0.0023 cents per gram, because a gram is 1/1000th of a kilogram. And when you work that out, the small purple wire come along there, and it's worth 27 cents for the bit that's sitting there on the counter, and the orange 3-core wire, that's worth 58 cents. The orange 4-core wire is worth 79 cents, and the white 10mm square wire is worth 86 cents. So it's actually pretty good good money for something that's just sitting in a dumpster, as it was. But let's strip it down and see what it's worth once it's stripped down. So I've straightened the wires out from their curled up weighing status, position, whatever you're going to call it, and believe it or not, I actually cleaned all the dirt off them because they are so disgusting. I've got this great little knife that cost me almost nothing. It's Kiwi brand. Bought it in the Chinatown area of where I live from a little fruit shop, and it's amazing. And as you can see, this is my preferred way of stripping a wire. Just like run the knife along it, pull it through, and this knife flexes quite well, so it doesn't dig in. So that's that little job done. And I just peel that back with my fingers. And that didn't take too long. And let's curl that up, bend it up, get it into something weighable, throw it to the side, keep stripping the wires. Next one, the 3/4, and I find with these big wires this doesn't work very well doing it this way. It just bounces off like that. What I like to do is just get the point, make sure your fingers aren't in the road. Do that. Come along again, keep your fingers out of the road. Because you don't want to get the nickname Four Fingers. This requires a bit of effort. It probably would be easier if it was a warm day and I'd left these out in the sun, but for the first time in weeks we're actually getting some rain here. I live in Sydney, just south of the city, and the whole of my state of New South Wales has been in drought and still is in drought. We've been surrounded by bushfires. I believe there's 150 separate fires burning today just in the state of New South Wales. I've also had terrible bushfires in Victoria, a few in Queensland, I think, some shockers in South Australia. Did I say South Australia already, or Victoria? Anyway, both of them have copped a hammering. A friend of mine, his parents, their house burnt to the ground in the Barossa Valley in South Australia. Let's see how this works. Whether I can get this. Oh, Mike the Scrapper says you've got to be strong, got to be strong. This would be easier if I just put it on the floor and stood on the wire and just lifted it up. But hey, then I'd have to move the camera and that would require a certain level of ability. So that's that. All that white stuff's just like a powder they put on the wire, I hope. Oh, there we go, we're pulling the stove apart. And then unravel this, unravel this. We've got our black wire, yeah, and this one should just come up by just running that along there. Turn it around, straighten it out a bit. So I think I said before, these wires are about 1.5 meters long, which is, I guess about 5 feet in imperial measurements. I don't know whether you saw that then. So that comes off pretty easy. Bundle that one up without wrapping it around the white wire. That's one. And yet the logical ones out there will say, hey, you can just measure up that one. And I probably could, but you know, let's do this properly, because it's not very often I do things properly. And I think sometimes in a 3-core wire they make the earth wire either a little bit thicker or a little bit thinner, just to save a fraction of a cent. So I'm going to get that. I'm just going to run that along there. Pull the wire through. Done. Peel it back. Throw the wire on the ground, because I'm the only one that's going to complain. And the red wire, which is active, live. You can tell I'm not an electrician, because I can never remember. But red's live, but is that the same as active? You got live, you got earth, you got neutral. In Australia, green and yellow is earth, just green. And yeah, red's live. And then the black is neutral. Done. Peel it back. Bang. Job done. Let's get those three together. Bundle them up. And I'll put that over next to the purple one. So, for those out there that are short of memory, tend to forget things. Purple on the right, 3-core next to it on the left. See how we go with this one, whether it'll cut a bit easier. These orange cables are a heavy duty cable. I think they're designed to be out in the outdoors, and yep, that ain't working. So let's slit this one too. Fingers out of the road. Come to the end. Just lever it down till it pops. And this feels like it's got a type of liner in it. It has to, like a paper liner, just so that we get more mess while we're doing this. I've also got a Stanley knife here, which has probably got a sharper tip on it. Adjustable, replaceable blade. If you get a good blade, they stay sharp for a fair while. Otherwise, if you buy the cheap ones, they don't. So I'll just pop it out a little bit and run that along there. That is definitely sharper. And my hand's probably in the way, so you probably can't see the beauty of this cut. It's just, it's not too bad. Get to the end, give it a wiggle so that it doesn't smash down onto the kitchen bench. Let's try and take that paper off while we're at it. No, it's not going to happen. Let's get the paper off. Get rid of that. And I don't know whether you can see that, but they're all the same. So anyway, let's see what we've got. I was just doing that off camera because, you know, I just figured you'd be able to see it with a satellite from the sky, maybe. Who knows? I'll probably edit that out It's probably the only bit of editing I know how to do is how to cut a bit out. So here we go, what's he talking about? What was I talking about? I was talking about the bushfires, wasn't I? Yeah, so I had a friend, South Australia, their house burnt to the ground. And also my brother-in-law's best mate, who I've known him for 25 years. His house also burnt to the ground. The fire came across him that fast, they were ready to evacuate, waiting for the word, and then the fire just appeared over the hill. He had to fight it, he burnt his hands. Frightening stuff. So let's just run that along there. So if you feel like making a donation, then the appropriate people to donate to are the Rural Fire Service, the RFS, and they are a volunteer organisation of people who fight fires, actually take time off work and fight fires, earn no money. It's nuts. Great guys. And let's do this one. There we go, that's another one. Let's split him out. Another one beside him. Just got to unravel the red and the green. That one. Let's see if we can split both of these at once. See if I'm that good. Do that. What else if I cut it properly? There we go. So there's our 4 bundles. Let's see, orange 4 core, all done. And finally, the white stuff, heavy as. Let's see whether I can get any traction on this with the, oh yeah, that's pretty good. It's really hard to control this stuff. But hey, look at that. Wow. It's pretty easy to cut. That's the first layer. This is double insulated. And I'm trying to show you, but it's just falling off before I can even get it up to the bench. And then, here's the second layer. Oh, this is interesting. Why is it not bright and nice and shiny? So it tells me this has had, the sparkies will know, but excess voltage, and it's burnt the copper. That's what happens, excess voltage, excess resistance. I don't think it's actually corrosion. Not being an electrical person, as I've already said. Right, that's that bit. Put the knives to the side. Yeah, so that's going to put a bit of different price range on things. We'll put a close up of that in a sec. So this is man, she's hard to bend too. So yeah, right there, and that's our forecourt, and as you can see that is black, and so yeah, I think that means that it's had a high resistance, possibly an excess voltage through it, I don't know, but whereas this is classed as bare bright copper, and you can see why, it's bare and it's bright. This one here is going to be classed as burnt copper, which doesn't quite bring in as much money. I'll look that up in a second and let you know just what the difference is. But let's get the calculator out again and work out what they're worth as they stand. We'll weigh them up. So I've tidied up, cleaned up all the rubbish off the floor. Let's measure them up. So first of all, let's zero our scales. There we go. And so this one here, that was the purple one, coming in at 79 grams. Might help if we put the pen out. 79, and back to 0. Oh, no, there's something going wrong here. So 0 it out again. Let's just double check that purple one. 81. And 91 for the 3 core. So we've lost 150 grams of excess baggage there. $135 for the 4 core. And finally our burnt 10 square millimetre. What's that coming at? 214. Wow. 214 grams. So let me go and get my prices. Back in a minute. So here we go, the figures are in. For the purple wire, which was the first one we did, which is worth 27 cents, and as you can see there, we've gone from 27 cents up to 62 cents. That's plus 35 cents for that short length, or plus 130%. So crazy not to strip that down. Strip really easy, and plus 130%, I'll have that any day of the week. And the next one was the orange 3 core, and it was worth 58 cents. And with a price of $7.70, because that's what Bear Bright's worth, $7.70 per kilogram. It only went up to 64 cents, which is only a 6-cent difference, which is what, plus 10%, which is nothing. And our orange 4-core went from 79 cents to $1.04, so that's a 25-cent increase, which is plus 30%, and I do a lot of other wires for plus 30%, so given that it was reasonably easy to strip, I'd be into that one again. And then finally our burnt copper, which is worth $7.05 for burnt copper at the moment. And so that burnt copper, it went from 86 cents up to being worth $1.50, so that's plus 64 cents on that length, and that's plus 74% improvement. And that stripped like a dream, so I'm going to have to strip that one down too. All the stuff that I brought inside, I actually cleaned that all up, so I'll probably guess I'll have to clean the other stuff up too, or do it outside, which I really hate doing, although it was quick, so maybe I will. So yeah, that's pretty good, and there's some good money to be made there considering how much I've got. So that's the size of that. Yeah, some worth stripping, some not worth stripping at all. They'll just go straight into the low-grade insulated copper wire bin. And a bit of work to be done there. So if you like this video, or if you didn't like it, leave a comment below, tell me all about it. And as they say, like and subscribe and ring the bell and keep in touch. And this is the Bondi Scrapper. Did I say the Bondi Scrapper before? Yeah, God only knows why I get called that. My mates call me that. But yeah, Bondi Scrapper signing off till next time. And hopefully I'll edit this video and publish it. And if you see it, well, hey, I would have a drink or a cup of coffee or something like that, or just high five yourself just based on that one. So thanks very much, and see you next time. Bye. That's a special noise. That's the moving camera noise.